Good day, MMO Zealots! My name is Zoofus and I'm continuing a series of all the possible dungeons we can encounter for the League of Legends MMO currently in development by Riot Games. Today we'll cover a part of a highly likely dungeon in the FRELJORD. Please do keep in mind that this is a very speculative video and nothing is set in stone at all. I just want to make a summary of what we already see in the lore and stories and connect the dots. There is a lot of information to be found in the Legends of Runeterra cards, so they are totally worth checking out if you want to have some possible ideas for content in the upcoming MMO made by Riot. Okay, let's hop into the Frost Troll village.
Come on, entertain me.
Who are the Frost Trolls? Frost Trolls are enormous and muscular. They use their size to intimidate and overpower lesser creatures and races. They have a variety of physical characteristics such as size, hair, skin colors, and even the number of fingers on each hand. Frost trolls have large noses. They also have large, tusk-like front teeth, with some older troll individuals growing their teeth to the size of actual tusks. Their jaws are able to open up to an unnatural large angle to crunch on meat and intimidate smaller individuals. Some of the Frost Trolls are ice-born descendants of those who were followers of the Three Sisters and are able to wield true ice. Frost Trolls are generally dumb compared to the average humans, although there are some exceptions like Trundle. He isn't that smart, but later on in the video we see that he can still outsmart others of his tribe. Okay, up to the next part, allied champions. We can see some allied champions. It's just my opinion, but it would be so cool if Braum came up and he just, like crushes the door of the Frost Troll village. That would be so awesome, because actually Braum saved a young troll boy from the Frost Troll village. So yeah, maybe we see some interactions that the lost boy grows up and that he knows like the inside of the village and he knows where everything is and he is like our guide. Okay, next up is Ornn. Ornn interacted with the Frost Troll Grugback the Hideous. So maybe we can see even an Ornn interaction. I highly doubt it, because Ornn is like, a half god, so no, I don't think so. Also, Ryze visited a Frost Troll village and confronted Trundle during his search for the World Runes. So, could it be that we as the players are looking for information about the World Runes? I wonder. Also, Tryndamere fought against Tarkas the Tribeless, which we will see later on in the video. And he even mentioned that he fought with great honor. Kind of. So yeah, we have also Ashe. And from the Legend of Runeterra cards, we learn that Ashe is in war with the Troll village, because Hagar, the Troll Revenger, destroyed many Avarosan homes. Ashe wants to exterminate the whole race of Frost Trolls. Also, Nunu and Willump. Yay! I love these guys, Nunu and Willump. They're so, like feel-good characters. I love them. Nunu and Willump have the same objective as Ashe, and they have encountered Trundle and other trolls in their adventures. Spoiler alert for the upcoming game, Song of Nunu? I have no idea, guys, but I would love to hear some info about this project, because they announced that it would be released in 2022, I guess, but we didn't hear a lot. So will this game be delayed as many other games in the industry? I don't know, but I'm very excited for this game, because it will probably be like a story-driven adventure exploration game, which I would love to play. Anyway, up to the dungeon bosses. We have Hagar the Troll Ravager. He wears a special battering ram and his battering ram is called Snow Thunder. It's a troll-sized handheld battering ram seemingly made of rock and bone and wrapped with ropes, seen being used by Hagar to destroy wooden Avarosan homes. So yeah, here we have it. Ash is fucking pissed about this, you know? So she will probably take revenge in the dungeon. We can maybe even ally her and kill Hagar together.
Run, Ash!
Next up, we have Uzgar the Ancient. And Uzgar the Ancient is one of the oldest trolls in the Trundle tribe, renowned for his savagery and legendary zest for battle. He took on entire FRELJORDian villages at once and never left with an empty belly. Uzgar's territory, won through sheer brutality, grew larger year after year until Trundle called a challenge. Though Uzgar had both the advantage of size and experience, Trundle managed to best him through trickery, causing an avalanche and trapping the larger troll. Uzgar was just clever enough to know he couldn't outsmart the new king, and called a truce through his growls. Ever since, Uzgar has gone to battle in the name of his king, knowing the biggest and best battles will be led by King Trundle. Next up, we have Ogre of the Old Ones. And this is, not to be mistaken, it's a witch, it's a female troll. So, female trolls are confirmed. It is said that very few trolls taught the chants of the Old Ones, and that those who know them can call on their forebears to imbue their brethren with exceptional strength. Up to the next one, Frozen Troll. This is maybe a weird one, but I have an explanation for this. I think this will be one of the last bosses, because in this part we will learn the corruption of the trolls and the connection with Lysandra. So from this boss, we can go to the big end boss, King Trundle. This would be an excellent boss to end the dungeon with, in my opinion. This is the tribe leader and a well-known champion in the League universe. Also, a very important detail for me is how Riot can progress the story here, because Lysandra and her Frostguard army are in an alliance with the Frost Trolls. His True Eyes club, called Bone Shiver, was originally from Lysandra. In exchange for it, Trundle agreed to muster a troll army to fight along the Frostguard. So apparently Trundle's biggest fear is that his club would melt. Of course, that's a bit of a joke, because that's not possible, because it's made of true ice, and true ice, we all know, it can't melt. And I think in general this dungeon is very interesting, because it could be a very good prequel to the first possible raid we'll see in the MMO, the Frostguard Citadel. Okay, next up are the possible mechanics of the dungeon encounters we could see. The first one is Troll Gifts. This is a buff for enemy NPCs provided by Ogre of the Old Ones. This witch gives her allied NPCs a regeneration and overwhelm buff. In game we could see this as enemies being healed and players being knocked back. Okay, next up, Targa's Fury. This would be the use of the battering ram. So he could use his battering ram to slam the players and make them like stunned or knocked back, or some mechanic there. Maybe you can walk on the battering ram and do a counter attack or something. Next up is Troll Chant. This simply debuffs players and make them weaker. Okay, next up we have the boss fight with Trundle, and he uses a different set of skills. Let's go over them. First skill he uses Trundle's Ice Quake. Deal damage and make players disoriented. The ground would be shattered and players could jump from ice shard to ice shard to survive. I think that would be such a cool mechanic, like the ground shatters and like the ground falls, you know? And you jump with your players from ice shard to get to Trundle. Okay, next up is Ice Pillar. This forces the enemies, so the players, to attack on an ice pillar instead of Trundle. The pillars needs to be killed as fast as possible to avoid taking too much damage from Trundle, who is rampaging at that moment. And I think this would be also a very cool mechanic to see in game. Okay, up to the next. Summon frozen trolls. And maybe there is an interruption moment where the players can't attack Trundle, but you can see Trundle running towards the frozen trolls encased in ice. And maybe it's a thing that he takes the torch and he starts to melt the trolls. And when you don't get to him on time, or when you are not completing the objective in time, the frozen trolls, they awaken and they completely crush you. Let's jump into the most interesting part for us players, the loot. If we analyze the weapons and appearances of the frost trolls, we can agree that they have a huge tribal influence. So we could see tribal influenced armor sets. Also, the use of massive weapons such as bludgeons and battering rams can be a loot related item. The weapons could be covered in true ice, as we see in Trundle's weapon. King Trundle could even drop his beloved Bone Shiver. I can totally see this become a legendary or epic type of weapon with a special ability to have an ice pillar spawning every amount of seconds to freeze enemies. That would be so awesome. Please Riot, make it happen. Okay, and this brings me to the end of the video, but please don't click away yet. If you love this video, please subscribe to my channel. It helps me out to create more quality content in preparation for the MMO Riot is making. Also, keep in mind that this is just a bunch of ideas I can see Riot implement in their new MMO, but there is still a lot of speculation and nothing is based on a fact. Is Frost Troll Village a possible dungeon, or am I totally delusional? What would your favorite dungeon be in the League MMO? Drop a comment below and maybe I could make a video about it. Okay, MMO Zealots, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.